Hey everybody, it's Tim with Broken Dice, bringing you turn 5 of my solo wargaming project, Thebes versus Sparta, based on the Battle of Mantinea in 362 BC. Let's get on with this. Alright, we're talking about the Theban half of turn 5. Alright, the Thebans passed their orders for a division order. Everybody's going to charge somebody. And you see by the red marker, the arrow markers, those are the charges and the charge directions. Okay, first thing up, the Thessalian cavalry on their ongoing combat attack the Spartan cavalry. If you can notice, they're both disordered and they're shaken. The Thessalian cavalry defeat the Spartan cavalry and cause them to break, so they will no longer take any part in the combat. Yeah, this is just another picture showing all the infantry charges. All right, this is doesn't seem like much, but it becomes very important. The Theban infantry charge forward, pinning Spartan light infantry peltas, as you can see, marked by the red box. At this point in time, if you would have told me the way that this was the situation, I would have shown no, there's not much help here for the Spartan peltas. I would have thought they were doomed, doomed. But no, the dice had other ideas. Actually, it was only because the general was there. They actually had 11 dice, and they only hit 2 times out of 11, causing two damage to the peltas. But the other peltas from the Theban units did no damage. They went 0 for 3. So if you think about it, there would have been 12, it'd be 15 dice, and they were only able to do 2 damage. And amazing. Sometimes it's just hilarious the way the dice can just change things up. And I really do believe that's why we play the game. We don't play it just because we want all the math to work out exactly right. Because if it did, why play? The peltas take 2 damage, obviously, while inflicting 1 damage on the Theban hoplites, which was surprising. And they lose the combat by 1, but they pass their break test and hold their ground. It just amazes me. Amazes me. Oh, just crazy. Okay, the Spartan slingers are charged by the Theban skirmishers. Um, I debated on whether to have them flee or not, but I decided not to. And it probably turned out that they should have fled. And here we go. Yep, they break from combat, and but see that right there opens up that entire section for the Spartans. Theban allies. Oh my goodness, nothing. They failed their divisional order to charge, so nobody moves. Amazing, amazing. Um, Here we have on this right-hand side of the photo, you see where the peltas from the Spartan right has charged over into this Theban peltas unit in the flank. Um, no damage was done, obviously. Or, wait a minute. I think yeah, there was like a point of damage. It was like a tied combat. So nothing really got done there. Okay. This brings us to the end of the Theban part of turn 5. Pretty uneventful for them. It should have been far more dramatic, but other than them taking out that cavalry unit, it sure didn't turn out very well. All right, the Spartan half of turn 5. You see by the red arrows, charges. As I mentioned in the previous slide, this Spartan peltas charge the Theban peltas in the flank, and the Spartan hoplites are going to charge the light infantry. But what happened here was they only passed their orders by one, so they only had one movement. They weren't able to reach them. And since skirmishing units won't stand against um, formed units, the skirmishers fled back through the peltas, took them out of range. So the Spartan hoplites are just standing there. Okay, as you can see over here, I've put an explosion marker over the Spartan cavalry because they are gone in this photo. In the Spartan combat phase, the peltas failed to do any damage to the Thebans, and the Thebans troops again. Can you imagine 2 turns in a row where the dice rolling were so bad that that large unit of hoplites did no damage, and neither did the Theban peltas. It's just I rolled the dice and I just couldn't believe it. I should have taken a picture of it. I was dumbfounded how many ones and twos that could be rolled in a row. But again, that's why we play the game. That's why we play. All right, that was the end of the Spartan phase. Now we move to the Spartan Allies part of turn 5. Okay, all the red arrows show all the distances of the charges and the directions. Obviously, they passed their leadership by 3. Amazing, they were leadership 7. So when they did the division order to charge, I thought, well, I might get maybe 1 if I'm lucky, because the Thebans, their leadership was 7 too. Their command was 7. So I was amazed. I rolled like there's 7. I think I rolled like a 3. So they have plenty of movement to get to different places. Okay, so here we have all the Spartan allies engaged with the Theban allies in combat. And on the right-hand side, you can see that the Theban peltas have been charged by 2 units of the Spartans. One unit that's a true Spartan peltas, and the other unit is Spartan allied peltas. Okay, first thing up, that unit is gone, as you can see by the blue explosion marker. The allied peltas charged in and destroyed them in the turn that they charged, so now they get to do a sweeping advance. They advance into another unit of peltas, and they will fight that combat immediately, along with the combat for the Spartan allied hoplites, who are just, as you can tell from that blue explosion marker, they're going to blow up that unit of peltas to their front. And on the left, the allied Spartan hoplites have charged into the flank of the cavalry, which is going to be a disaster for them. And then the allied Spartan peltas, that's an awful lot to say, had got enough room. They were able to move around the flank and charge this unit of peltas that is in the center in the flank. Okay, this brings us down to basically to the end. At this point in time, the Theban allies, in the combat with the Spartan allies, have lost 4 units, not including the 1 unit that was destroyed in the combo charge between the Spartans and their allies against the Theban allied peltas unit. So on this side of the table, 5 units from that division disappeared in 1 turn. It was that horrific, and that just brings us to the end of turn 5 and the end of the game. So in looking back on it, probably should have deployed a little bit differently, maybe stuck to my guns on moving the light troops out of the way of the hoplites. But when I read the rules that units that are shaken can't support or disordered can't support. So if I waited till a unit of Peltas was disordered before I brought them back into a supporting position, it would have been null and void anyway. Might have to give that some thought for the next time around. And so what's basically happened in this game is that the Spartan Allies beat the Theban Allies, and that division and the Theban Allies would have to leave the field, and the Theban units beat the Spartan units, but we didn't get that clash of hoplites that I wanted. Now, one thing about doing a solo battle report, to have it have any meaning, for whatever meaning it can have, you really need to be honest with yourself and with the game. Be honest and truthful with the game. I could have manufactured some sort of storyline that could have brought them into combat and fought it out. But I would rather have it happen in the natural flow of a game as opposed to having it artificially done. So hopefully the next time when I do something, I will be able to have the setup in the beginning allow that sort of outcome to happen, whatever that outcome is, whether it's some sort of cavalry fight or a hoplite fight in the middle of the battlefield or something. The setup will have to be with that in mind. That's that as sort of a goal, and then not to artificially make it happen. I know it sounds a little bit confusing, but in doing solo battle reports, I think it's important to have the game play itself out. Let the game, as I used to call it, have a life of its own. The dice and the rules breathe life into the game. We are basically game managers, and we just have fun with setting it up and having it play out in front of us rather than trying to manipulate a particular outcome. But that's what happened in this one. Sorry it didn't have that great crescendo that I was looking for at the end with the two big hoplite blocks bashing it out in the middle of the table. Maybe next time. Well, everybody stay safe, stay well, and I will see you next time with a new battle report. I don't know. Hopefully I can get my Romans done, and we'll get these Romans on the table, and we'll see if some of these Greeks can't smack some Romans around. Everybody stay safe, stay well, and I will see you next time.